Oops. Oh no, sorry. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It is I, Classic Sam, and my GM, and I am super excited because finally I have Queon with me right there over there. Look. We are gonna chat on so many different things. Super excited about this. Been trying to wait for this to happen for a minute. So, we're gonna get into it. As always, if you want to ask any questions of this nice, beautiful person that's right there next to the screen on with me, all you have to do is redeem 50 channel points, and we will save those points in queue at the end to chat with everyone. Listen, ask questions, but but just it's rated R, but like we're R. We're not NC-17. I was only like we're not in that realm. Just keep it in that space. But thank you so much, Keon, for being here. How are you? And welcome.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. A little nervous, but I'm super excited to be here.
Yay! I'm so excited. I
I'm
can't wait.
finally I'm happy we finally are able to do
I
this.
know, I know. Every time it's like, okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, not we can't do that week. Okay, no, not this
Yeah.
week. Okay. Listen, next year.
It's cuz you're busy.
I I don't feel like I'm busy until like I'm actually like, oh shit, I'm actually busy.
Yeah.
But
I
you're
feel the
busy
same. Every time I
too.
fill out my calendar, I'm like, "Oh, I've got so much going
Oh
on." I'm
my
like,
god,
"This
it's
is
like
great."
it's awesome. I love it. I absolutely adore it. But then you kind of go, that's a lot of stuff. Oh, what do I
Yeah.
do? Okay, we could do this. I'm an adult. I can adult.
I don't realize that I'm an adult until it's like, "Oh, I have to make like plans months in advance now." And that's the part that gets me.
Yeah, then you're like, I don't know if I like that. Like, this is weird. This is
Yeah,
weird.
just a
Um,
little bit.
it's fine. It's fine. We
Yeah.
got this. This is what we
Yeah.
do. Totes professional. Totally
Yeah, professional yappers right here. So it's
exactly. Do
gonna
it
be
all day
fine.
long, and it's fine. It's perfectly
Yeah.
okay. We're all completely inappropriate, but have to behave. First of all, listen. I'm okay with inappropriate. You still have to behave within the inappropriate sphere of inappropriateness.
Hey, don't behave because I'm here. I'm a menace. Y'all, like anybody here for me knows this. So just do what makes you happy. I don't
Welcome,
duck if you
author, for the
buck.
first time. I appreciate you being here. Okay, look, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna be chatting and talking, do all sorts of things. Like I said, guys, ask all the questions you want. All you have to do is redeem 50 channel points. How do you get 50 channel points? You get 300 channel points by following this channel. So there you go. That being said, you are a professional TTRPG performer. You stream sometimes on
Yeah.
Twitch.
Look, it's been a while since I've streamed on Twitch, but yes.
Yeah, exactly. So what came first then? Like TTRP
Um,
performing? Like how did this all start?
TTRPG performing definitely came first. It started from just like one little like, oh, I see a casting call. Let me throw my hat in the ring. And that casting call, hanging out with those people, is the reason why I got into streaming. So
Wow. Okay, so
yeah.
now I need to know this. Who was the casting call? Like who?
Oh, it was Mac Epiphany for the Hillard class Delta game. So yeah, that one started it all for this.
I love that Hillard is all over the place because the
Listen.
creator of Hillard was my first guest on this show. Neo Snow
Oh,
God is absolutely amazing, and they've been back on here recently. And chef's kiss. That being said,
yeah.
you know, but it's also very niche. TTRPGs is super
Yeah.
niche. It's one of those things that no one really thought of it as being like a thing you can do.
Yeah.
like you do what now? Um,
Yeah, my friends are still like, okay, so what is this? And I'm like,
okay, so this I have to ask because people have done this to me too. What do you do? I interview people on Twitch, who are in the TTRPG space. So what?
yeah.
So how do you answer that
Yeah.
question?
Oh, I play pretend for fun. Like I professionally play
Mm,
pretend. That's it. That's basically the easiest way to say it. It was like
okay.
because we're creating characters, we're getting to play and like let our imagination run
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's about all I got.
I love it. I love it. So, why this is a social media outlet? Because and we'll get into it later. You're also a graphic designer. You're a producer.
Yeah.
You do a whole bunch of other stuff. But why TTRPGs as your social media outlet? Why not like a travel vlog or something?
Honestly, I didn't start out doing TTRPGs.
Okay.
I was heavily into the spiritual community over on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, Instagram, and all of that. So that's where I started being a content creator, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but then some things happened like spiritually, so that became like a very personal practice, and I was like, I'm not sharing this with people anymore.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like, because things get a little weird when you're like talking about your spiritual stuff all the time, so that had to go.
Yeah.
But what it came down to was just like I was having so much fun doing TTRPGs, and I saw everybody else like, oh,
Yeah.
you would be great at this, you would do good at this, like you just talking about like just sit down, play the game, and you'll be fine. And I'm like,
Right.
sure, whatever, I guess. And ever since then, it's just like, yeah, I'm never leaving. Y'all are stuck with me. I'm never going anywhere.
I am never going. This is where we are forever now. Be happy
Yeah,
with us. Um,
yeah,
like you just mentioned Twitter, but you're also on TikTok. You're on Instagram. You're
yeah,
now on Blue Sky. My new
yeah.
favorite app. Follow me over
I
there.
love Blue Sky
I
so much.
love Blue Sky. It is like so lovely and relaxing, and just like I'm like this is nice. Like it feels. Ah. um, there are
Yeah.
very different communities though. The communities all across these social media platforms are super different. How are they different for you, and how do you navigate them? Because if you go to TikTok, it can be a thing, as opposed to going to Twitter,
Yeah.
which is a dumpster fire. So,
Yeah, yeah. So again, being like a professional yapper,
mm,
I like to talk and just use my words. So I started off on Tumblr with where I had like that was my biggest following
mm-hmm,
by bar none.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But when that imploded, everybody moved to Twitter. And each one has like a little bit of like a little difference to them,
mm-hmm.
because like even on TikTok I'm still shocked when people like follow me and are just like, oh my god, like I love what you're posting. I'm like, I post my dog and I post about like very like minute stuff, and it's like for I guess like I use Blue Sky and Instagram
Mm.
a little bit more on like the professional TTRPG side, and TikTok is just for the shenanigans of it all.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Um,
Yeah.
so we briefly touched on this a little bit, but TTRPG isn't like one of those things that when someone asks you, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" You don't pick this as a career choice. Like this is not. This is not a place you come to be like a professional TTRPG. And I'm using air
Right.
quotes because it's still an air quotable thing. Um,
Yeah.
uh, what would you say to someone who's like, I want to do what you do? Like, I want to be a TTRPG performer. Like, I want to do it professionally. Like, yeah. um, what would you say to someone who came to you and asked you that question?
That I think that's like a really hard question to answer, and I've had to answer it recently, which
Ooh.
is bonkers. Um, I think like because a friend of mine was like, "Oh, well, I'm trying to get into it, and I just like have never figured out how to. I need to
Mm,
just like get myself out there." And I'm just like, of bar none, the TTRPG space has probably been the most welcoming
yeah,
and like
yeah.
open and honest people that I've been around,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and they're also the like the least judgmental, and
Yeah.
this is coming from somebody who was in the spiritual community, and I know a lot about judging. I know a lot about it, but it really just feels like if somebody wants to get into this, the only thing they have to do is try.
Right.
Just like if you see somebody opening up like a casting call, apply
Mm-hmm.
for it.
Yeah.
You never know what can happen.
Right. Right.
Like everything that has happened here is just because I applied to one casting call and everything exploded from there.
Mm, mm,
So me being a professional, I wouldn't say that this is what I dreamed of,
mm-hmm.
but I'm not gonna lie and say my name being in lights somewhere wasn't a dream of mine.
Yeah.
So that definitely, and I never thought that this would be something that I could use to get there or this to be where it is for me. So
Oh, I love
Even getting interviewed right now is a lot.
I love that, it's always funny to me when people are like, "Oh my god, you're interviewing me." I'm like, "Do you realize I'm not a like there are bigger names out there for you to be interviewed by?"
True, but it's the fact of just being interviewed, like, because in my day job, I'm the man behind the camera. I'm the one
Same.
doing the
Yeah.
production and everything and like
Mhm.
audio engineering, and I'm never the talent. So
Mhm.
me being interviewed right now is very surreal. So it's just it's full circle, I guess.
I love it. I love that. So among all the TTRPGs that that are out there, there's Kids on Bikes, Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinders. What is your favorite? Because a lot of times people are like, when you say TTRPGs, immediately people think Dungeons and Dragons. That's what they
Yeah.
go to. One, was that your first game? And two, is it your favorite?
D&D is always going to have like a little space in my heart because it was
Mm-hmm.
my first.
Okay.
It's what got me into all of this, and it got me through deployment. So it's always going to have a spot in my heart. However, there are certain things that when you start looking around and seeing other
Mm,
TTRPGs that are not D&D, you're like, "Oh, this is phenomenal.
right.
This is great."
Yeah.
Um, and I think my favorite one is Die RPG,
Okay.
and it is bar none. It's so fun to play. It is
Okay.
so fun to play. You get to like it's kind of like you get isekai into a world that you all create,
Okay.
and from there you just have to mix and match and make things work. It is phenomenal. And like if you're the GM of it, you're also a player in the world, and you
Oh, so
get
you
to
get to
like,
play NGM.
yes, and you
Mm.
also basically get to tell your players, no, you can't do that. No. Like not yes and, not
No,
no but,
just
flat out no.
no. You can't. No, I'm not letting you do that. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
And it's so fun because
Mm-hmm.
the way it's kind of like you get to rewind time and stop it,
Mm-hmm.
and then seeing how your players work and move around that and make things work afterwards is
Right.
amazing.
Oh, I
It's
love
great.
that. Okay, so
Yeah, it's
you
so
have to
fun.
send me that link, right?
Oh, don't worry, I will.
Like that needs to happen almost expeditiously. Oh my
Oh,
god!
matter of
Thank you for the
fact,
follow and welcome in,
hi.
Comfort Dragon. So, you are also part of Roll D5.
Yep.
You I see you. I've seen you over there a bunch of times, as well as other channels as well. How did you get involved with Roll D5? They're starting to grow pretty fast right now.
Yeah, honestly, I cannot remember the first time that I ended up on Roll D5,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I had answered like again one of their casting calls that they were doing, and then when I got over there, I had so much amazing like chemistry with everybody. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
whenever they're like, "Hey, do you want to be in a part of the thing?" Yes, I do. There are very few people that are like that can ask me to be like, "Hey, we've got this thing coming up, and we're hoping to be in it,"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I will most likely 9 out of 10 times say yes to Roll D5.
I love it. I love it.
9 out of
I'm
10.
like, okay, I have time. I will put you in this spot. Like, I love it. I love that you're like, no, I'm coming. There, it's Roll D5. I'm coming.
Yeah, like that's how I am with like Roll D5, Sorting Key.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've been on so many places. I call myself a TTRPG like mercenary.
I
If
love
you're
it.
willing to have me, I'll be there.
And people know this because we did back in January our first Classic 20, and I was like, I need somebody expeditiously, like right now. Like this needs to happen. Like right now.
And then
And
I get a
Kia
text
was
message
like,
saying,
I get to do it level 20. I got you.
yeah, like I get to do level 20. Say less. I'll be there.
It was
I'll
so much fun. It was so much fun. It was like one of those ones you're like, oh, I get what now? It was like someone opened a treasure box for you. It was so good.
Yeah, because I never get to play level 20.
Right.
It's like most of my campaigns, either we don't make it there
Mm-hmm.
or it's just like whatever level 20 we do is just a one off.
Yeah,
So
true. Yeah.
whenever I get the chance, I'm hopping on it because I will make something that is a problem for everybody.
It was a problem. It was a problem. I was like, what is happening? Oh my God, Steve, thank you so much. We just got a hype train going. You're amazing. Thank you,
Oh,
Steve, for all those
thank
gifted
you.
subs. And
Thank you. Thank
oh my
you.
God, the hell. See, okay,
Well,
see,
hi.
hello. Thank you for the five gifted subs to all these amazing people, and also for the gifted sub that you gave earlier to Keon. I appreciate that. It's
Y'all are
amazing.
phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. Absolutely, Steve is amazing. I
Yeah.
adore Steve. So you mentioned a couple other action plays. Like,
Yeah.
how many of them are you in? Like, I know
Right
it's like,
now,
yeah.
hold on.
Like,
Hold on.
pause.
I have to look. Um,
I love it. I love that you're like, okay, wait, okay.
so the ones that are active and actually doing things right now, I'm in like three. But
Okay.
the ones that are things are coming up, including those, I'm in like 10.
God wow.
it, but a lot of it is like, this is kind of like my docket for the year so far.
Right.
And it's like, because just because I'm in it right now, we're not recording.
Okay.
But the thing is, this doesn't include what I want to GM either.
Oh gosh, I cannot. I want. There's so many people. I'm like, GM me, please, GM me. I want to. I want to be the thing. Like, and like you're on the list of people. Like, GM me, please. Like you are. You have no idea. I have a list. It's a list
That
of about
means so
20
much.
people, and I'm like GM me. I like one day I'm
Oh,
gonna be like, okay, these are the people I want to GM. Like I want to be on a table with them. I want them to be my GM, and even if it's just a one shot, I will be a happy freaking camper.
do not say that to me of all people, because you can ask my players if they happen to be in here. I will terrorize you.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay
Okay.
because I am absolutely ridiculous. Like I'm either like absolutely ruthless as a character as seen on Castleton, or I'm like ridiculously like weird all my
Oh
characters
yeah.
as seen in Class of 20. So
Fair.
so there's like or I'm like, I don't know, can you be my friend? Like it's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
I love terrorize like you're scaring the baby.
You, but like my way of terrorizing is like, so we just released the first episode of World Replica, which is like
Mm.
what my first DMing debut for the world, right?
Oh, love it.
um I gave my players an option to respond to an email, and everybody who responded to it, things went great.
Okay.
Those who decided not to, we'll see. it's
We'll
it was
see.
great. Yeah.
Bruh.
Like, listen, y'all, y'all knew what it was. Like, what? We like, they were told explicitly, please well, they were asked, please respond at your earliest convenience. Their earliest convenience was at that moment, and they chose not to. So
Well, hold on, pause. Suppose I read the email. I'm like, okay, I want to answer this in about. Like, I got 2 hours. 2 hours. I have time, and I
yeah,
answer
that's
it.
what somebody did.
Okay, that's fit. That's an earliest convenience.
No, it's not. Mm-mm,
Uh,
nah. No, it's not. They got in their car to go home. I definitely They ended up pulling over and responded to that email promptly.
rude.
Hey, listen, that's only the first episode. And that's only the first episode.
Oh, we need a guest star. Something. Something's happened. So
Season 2 will be coming soon.
oh, this needs to happen. This has to happen. That being said, with all the GMing, producing, um, being behind the camera, being in front of the camera, also a graphic designer. How do you do all of that and like manage your everyday life and like keep some type of sanity?
Well, I was gonna answer that until that last part, because I don't really do that. I don't do that much. Um,
Oh my
but honestly, it's I have always been a really big multitasker.
god. Hmm.
And even when I'm working, I'm always thinking about something else.
Okay.
So I'll have like a random moment and like come up with like a character idea.
Right.
I was like, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and write this down and get this out of my head, because the faster it's out of my head, I can focus on what I actually need to do, type of stuff.
Okay. Okay.
So as long like there are so many thoughts up here. So it makes it very easy to multitask.
I
So
love it. I love it. Like, insanity? No. Or weirdly organized? Sure. Like,
Yeah,
got
yeah.
this. It'll
It's
be fine.
mm-mm,
So,
no.
most D&D's actual plays and DMs and players, they were theater kids. Like, they did
Yeah.
like the whole like high school musical, whatever. They did that whole thing. Hey, Sunny. Hey, Cloud.
Hi, Sonny.
I love Sunny. So they
Same.
did the whole thing. Back in high school or middle school or even in college. Are you one of the theater kids? Would
I
that
regret to
describe you?
inform you, I was not a theater kid.
Yay, me too.
But but it's not because like okay, I grew up in Oklahoma, right?
Okay.
So growing up in Oklahoma, that's a very big Bible belt,
Mhm.
and it's
Mhm.
like as growing up in like the Baptist church, you had a very
Mm.
specific set of rules you had to follow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So being the only black boy in my household, I was not allowed to do a lot of stuff. Theater being one of them. Would I have been a theater kid?
Probably.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I am a
Gotcha.
repressed theater kid.
Mm. Like I was secret in my mind. So
Oh yeah,
so would you then say okay? Would you then say like in your mind then in your heart you're a theater kid?
I think so. Yeah, I
Okay.
like because I love going to musicals. I love all of that now. I can't hold a note to save my life, but hey,
Oh, I love it. He's like, I can't hold a note. That's never gonna. I mean, you could
yeah,
be
no.
trained. I feel like you're trained to be.
Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm.
Oh God.
They can't train this. This is an untrainable vocal. I promise you.
Okay, so new rule: don't drink anything when Keon's about to say anything because either you're gonna get water up and through your nose or you're gonna choke. So, lesson learned.
That's not my fault.
Mm,
That is not my fault.
totally
I'm
your
so
fault.
sorry.
Like if I'm choking because you said something, your fault.
All right, I'll take that.
Okay. So, um, we've noticed here, and I've asked this a lot of times because it is still becoming a thing, especially as we see Blue Sky becoming more popular. But TTRPG streaming and content, especially D&D, is growing like really really fast. Like it's popular on TikTok. You could find it almost on all social media platforms, with the exception of like some of the newer ones. What do you think um, this slow popularity and this slow growth is going to do to the games of TTRPG and how they're played and presented?
Honestly, what um, I hope it makes it more accessible to people and kind of like gets the stigma of it
Mm,
gone, because the idea that it's like people in your mother's basement
yeah,
are the only ones that play D&D. Like 40-year-old people with the
yeah.
the comic book guy from Simpsons.
Yes,
Like
yes, yes,
like
yes,
yeah,
yes. With the
those are the
scraggly
people who
half
people
like
yeah,
beard and like the pot belly.
exactly.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
That's
I mean, it
and I
is, but
It is, but I wanted like what I hope is that people see that everybody can do this. This isn't something that is just like, oh, you have to fit in a specific mode or you have to be critical role or
right,
like drop out to play this and do this. You can do this just being yourself type of things.
right, right.
And that's like a very big thing for me because just being me is what
Mm,
got me here.
yeah, yeah.
So
So, do you think there's a negative side to this? Because a lot of people who are now getting to the TTRPG space, trying to be actual players or performers, um, are doing solely because it's the next new thing. Um, what what negative thing can come of it, and do you think there's a way around it?
yeah, I think how do I put this nicely? 'Cause there's so many things that I know everyone wants to do and everybody
Mm,
wants to put it out as like, oh, this is an actual play. And a lot of things just don't need to be actual plays
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because there's a specific structure to things that when it comes to being an actual play, because I have listened and I've watched a lot as well as being a part of a lot, that I think people forget that this is a media that is also supposed to be consumed and not,
Yes.
even when it comes to critical role, 4 hours of an episode is a lot.
Ooh, is it? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
is a lot.
It's a lot.
And that is what a typical home game is, four
Mm,
hours.
right.
But for consumable media, for people to actually want to listen week after week after week or month after month, you have to get that down to bite-sized quantities.
Hmm. Hmm.
You can't sit here and be yapping and talking for 4 hours on like a shopping scene.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, like we've been in this shop. I mean, I know in game is 25 minutes, but we've been in this shop for 3.5. I need we need to do
Exactly.
something else. Um, Based off of what you just said, a lot of people, like I said, they have their home tables, and they've been playing it for a while and doing the other things. But a lot of times, and it's becoming more prevalent now. People are trying to take their home game and make them actual plays in the hopes of becoming, like you said, the next Critical Role or the next Dimension 20 or something along those lines, or the next. I would say a better representation would be the adventurous. They're on here somewhere. They are guys who just a bunch of friends with no backing, pretty much have,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've seen them around.
I've seen them around too, and that they're phenomenal. But a lot, the sentiment has now become not everything needs to be an actual play.
Yeah.
How do you, as a TTRP performer, um, discourage people who don't necessarily, one, know what it takes to be an actual play, and two, that they are actually, if you're doing that, you're performing for an audience and not your table.
Uh, that's also like, I don't know if I would like, I don't like to discourage people from doing things that they
Hmm.
want to do, because as long as you're like happy and everybody else is happy, cool, great. But I do think people need to realize that at a certain point, this is a lot. And some things that you find funny and something that your home and your friends find funny
Hmm.
don't cross to everybody.
Right.
And it's like, just because like, I don't know, they're like, even me, there's certain things that I find hilarious, and like at my like, I will yap on the phone with my best friend about, we will cackle about anything.
Right.
But when it comes to like playing games and playing TTRPGs, there's a certain thing that like you do have to appease to the masses,
Yes.
and you do have to appease to other people. And like a lot of that does boil down to like a story structure, and it does boil down
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
work and effort that goes into it. And there's not every time that as a DM, specifically as a DM, when it comes to like a actual play, that you can just do zero prep.
Right. Right.
Because when you don't prep anything for an actual play, you're gonna be there for 4 hours because your players don't know what they're doing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Your players are moving the story, and by the time that everything's said and done, you're 4 hours through, and all you've done is buy some shoes.
Right. Right. Exactly. Right.
So, and I genuinely just want people to like, yes, this is fun. Yes, we can always have like
Hmm.
a great time, but there's still just a smidgen of work that has to be done too.
Yeah. 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 I agree. I agree. I feel like a lot of times people, they see Dimension 20, Winter's Tales, all these different actual plays, and they're like, "Oh, that looks like so much fun," and they're getting stuff, sponsorships and all these other things, not realizing the amount of effort and work that went into doing all of that, and then
Right.
they're overwhelmed and all of a sudden they're gone in like 2 minutes. And I
Yeah.
feel bad because I feel like it kills their game.
Yeah.
But
And then the other thing, I don't know if everybody else knows this, but a lot of the TTRPG performers in the community,
mm,
we have day jobs.
facts. Like we
Critical
go to
Role, and
work.
like we clock in somewhere. A lot of the actual plays, like the bigger actual plays you see, that is their job.
Right.
So it's like they can, the 8 hours that we would be spending doing something else, they can put all that effort into creating a story,
Right.
fleshing out a full thing for a character. A lot of us are doing this on our dream time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just like understanding that and realizing that. Also, somebody's car is getting towed right now, so I hope you don't hear the
That is
alarms.
hilarious. I love it because that's usually my end. Um, Usually it's usually my end. Either there's like music, Caribbean music, because summertime Brooklyn is lit.
Oh,
Yeah, summertime Brooklyn and New York are like, oh, it's hot. We got you. loud.
Caribbean what now? When you say Caribbean music?
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, but my parents are from the West Indies. My mother's from Guyana, my father's from St. Vincent. Um,
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
yeah, and I have family in Aruba and all these other different places. But yeah,
I knew I liked you.
every once in a
It-
while, like it doesn't happen often here, but every once in a while, a little bit of West Indian accent comes out. You be like, people are like, wait, what did you just
yeah,
say?
yeah.
Say it more.
I don't have the accent because I wasn't raised around this side of my family, but
Mm-hmm.
I have a whole slew of Haitian family, and I'm
Yep.
just like, yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
love this.
There it is.
Yep.
Because here's the thing, you as an American and as a Black American, um, when you are intersectional with a different Black community, you tend to mask around people who don't know. You know,
Oh yeah.
they are unable to understand until you get around someone and it's a surprise. Like you're like, wait, you're from the Caribbean, or you have family from the Caribbean? All of a sudden, like accents come out.
And it's like the guard
The
drops,
guard
and it's just like, oh,
drops.
thank God.
Like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Okay, you know what it means. Like
Like I
you
don't have to worry about telling people
right.
about Detto, and it's great.
Exactly. Like you understand what it means, but I gotta walk in the house backwards. You get it. Okay, got you.
Oh, oh, oh! You just unlocked something in me. That just made me so happy. Oh yeah, yep,
Yep.
yep. It's great.
People are like,
Ah,
what do you mean? It's a thing.
yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing. I just
Yep,
want to
yep,
go in
yep,
the
yep.
house, but I gotta turn around.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's also the whole like you can't whistle outside at
Oh my
night type of
God! At
thing.
night and like, oh Jesus
And
Christ!
people don't like, why not? And I'm like,
Why?
oh,
It's or my favorite when you be like when you turn 12 or 13 as a girl and you whistle in the house and you get good hens don't crow. Um, what now?
that is so bad. But I
What?
know exactly what you're saying.
And you're like,
Oh,
okay.
like all right,
All
this
right,
is we're
so therapy is when I'm in my 20s.
yep, yep,
Okay.
yep, yep, yep. We'll be unpacking this
We'll be
later.
unpacking this later on in life.
Yep, 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 yep.
Like, I can't.
Gotta love it.
I love it. I love my Caribbean community, but the stuff that happens is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
You like,
Yeah,
don't
it's.
cut those babies' nails. They're gonna be a thief. Huh?
What do you mean? What does
What do
that
you
even have to do? But so, and I think this is like this also has to do with like a lot of when it comes to my character creation in
Yes.
TTRPGs, because a lot of people don't know a lot of like Caribbean or like West Indian culture and
Mhm,
stuff.
mhm,
So
mhm.
there's like little stuff that I will put as like my character's quirks or
Yes,
like little
yes.
weird things. It's like even like for the class Delta game,
Mhm, mhm.
um in Haiti, they have these things that are called wer- hmm, they're werewolves, and there are like witches, and they're called lugawu, right?
Okay, okay.
My first character in that campaign, his name was Elu Garu,
Oh, I love
and
it.
and he
I
was a
love it.
shapeshifter. So it's like there's always like a little sprinkle of that I put in
Yeah.
all of my
Oh, I
characters.
love that. I love that. I love that so much. That is so good. That is so good, which actually leads into what I want to ask you next. That is so good. So, like, oh, that is fun. That is fun. Agreed, Hoffa. That is fun. I'm stealing one. Just so you know, if you're new to TTRPGs, this is something that normally happens. We steal stuff. We say we're borrowing. I have
Yeah, yeah.
stopped saying borrow now, and outrightly will tell you I'm taking it. This is mine now. Like,
Hey,
we can
still
share.
like an artist. That's all. Just still
It's
like an
fine.
artist.
We
That's
can
it.
share. It's fine. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it's great.
So, as a person of color, in
Yeah,
this community, we are few and far between. So
yeah.
there are usually a lot of obstacles that you encounter, especially early on. So, what some of the things that you have encountered early on at early tables when you first started?
Ooh, I don't. This is a problem that I have. I go into a lot of situations with rose-colored glasses, and I expect the best out of everybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So even if there is like I have like a little bit of reservation for something where I'm like, huh, I don't know how I feel about this, but I don't but I don't want to be that person where it's like uh everything is always an issue, so I'm not trying
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But if I start noticing patterns of things, that's where it becomes an issue.
Mhm.
There was a production company who I worked with when I first started,
Mhm.
um, and they would constantly ask me to be in things after the fact. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. That's sure. Like onesie
Right.
twosies, no
Right.
problem. And then I started realizing that I was the only black person, period, at those tables.
Ooh.
And I'm like, okay,
Oh, so I'm
cool.
an afterthought. Okay.
No, no, no. Not even that I'm an afterthought. I might be an afterthought, but I'm at that point, I'm the token. And that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
can say that they have somebody black at their table, just so they can
Mhm.
have somebody who falls into this bucket.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
this is my notice to everybody out there. If
Yeah.
I'm the only black person at your table, don't call me. Don't call me. If I'm the only POC at your table, don't call me. Like that's not how this is gonna work. If I'm the only gay person at your table, don't call
Problem.
me because like just having me there just to be like, oh well, we like it gives I have black friends
Yes. Yes.
and
And
I
it
don't like that.
also it gives for me, and I'm not gonna say for other black people. For me, it gives. I feel othered, and I don't feel comfortable, and I don't feel like I give my best
Yeah.
because I am now 100% not only masking, but fully hard on code switching. Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
are
Oh
not
yeah.
getting the
You're getting
actual
business
person.
Keon at that
Yeah.
point.
All of a sudden, it's like,
Like,
hello, how can I help you today? You know?
oh my oh my god, hi. I'm so happy to meet you. This is a great time. Girl, I I don't have it. I don't have the energy. I'm s- I'm sorry, Sam. I'm so sorry. Don't die.
I'm so happy to be. Oh God. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Woo. Oh my God. Right, Sonny. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The full on. Hello. I'm happy to be here today. How are you? It's just
Like,
that just threw
huh,
me. It's
like I
just.
am back at the call center. Like, thank you for choosing. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I can't. So with everything that's happened and all the stuff that you've interacted with at early tables,
Yeah.
what do you hope the future looks like for intersectionality in the TTRPG space, especially not only for people of color and Black people, but also for the LGBTQIA community? I love how I
Uh,
said that so smoothly.
listen, you're better than me, and that's a string of letters that I struggle with every day to figure out. Like, okay, the Q goes after the I, the A. It's so much. Um, but honestly, when it comes to like the intersectionality of everything, hopefully one day
Mhm.
we don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
Because like a big thing about it is that part of the reason why I do what I do is that other people who look like me or have the same experiences like me can also want to do this.
Right.
So it's like the more people who want to do this or want to be in the space, it makes it a lot. There's more people to talk to about it. There's more people to pick from. There's more people. So it doesn't, so being the token does not happen to people.
Right. Right.
So I want it to be where this isn't even a question that we have to ask in the future. I want it to
Yeah.
just be like a normal thing where we're just like, oh, we can pick a whole group of people and they're all diverse without even trying
Trying.
or
Yes.
not without it needing to be like let's make sure we do this because it's
Mm.
just something that happens.
Like, you don't have to hunt a bunch of people down looking for them.
Right,
Like, we're just
right.
coming. Aren't y'all
and
tired?
and the thing is like even at this point there's so many people who do this where you don't have to hunt them down.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you just have to get out of your like little sector of the internet
Yeah.
and realize that there are other people out there,
Right.
and that's
Because
it.
as big as the TTRPG community is, it's still very very small
Yeah,
compared to other communities and other gaming sectors. We're
yeah.
still a very very small group. So
Hmm.
most likely somebody knows somebody. You know,
Everybody knows.
right?
It's the part that like hurts me because it's like I used to get the like, especially like being gay. It's like, oh my god, I got a gay cousin.
Oh God.
Yo, gay cousins in Ohio. What they got to do with me in Texas? What? Come on now. Um,
Could tell you so many times where when I was living in New Hampshire, when I was in college in New Hampshire, and I would say, "Oh, I'm from, where are you from? I'm from New York. Oh, we're in New York. I'm from Brooklyn. Oh, I have a friend in Brooklyn. You know my friend in Brooklyn. Are
no,
you
absolutely.
okay?
No, I don't. I
Okay."
and let their name be like Samantha, Daniel, Tyrone. You know how many times? Sorry, sorry, sorry. I'm not diving into that.
Oh, I have a friend. Oh, my favorite was. Oh, your name is Samantha. That's so normal. Like, okay.
I mean, that's
Um,
something I've never heard before with my name.
See, but your
I've
name is
heard
normal
like,
to
oh my
me.
god, it's unique, and I'm like, yeah, no, thank you.
But it's normal to me. Like I immediately be like, "Who's this?" I'm like, "Keon." Like, how do you know how to spell his name? How to pronounce his name? Like, how do you not?
It's literally, it's right there. It's
It's
right
like
there.
it's right there. Okay, because
It's fine.
it's still weird when I get called Samantha.
How?
Right? Samantha. Simentha. Samantha.
Listen,
T-H-T-A.
I get English is a hard language. I do. But come on.
Samantha. It's Samantha. There's a whole freaking 1960s freaking television show with a whole character named Samantha
Yeah,
who was a witch.
that's. Oh yeah, was that no? Was that Bewitched?
Yeah, it was Bewitched. Yeah,
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
it's not
I used to love
facts.
all of
It's
that.
thank you, Courtney. It's not that hard, but um,
It is not that
it's
hard,
so not
and
hard.
it all you have to do, if need be, ask. Ask or read. The part that throws me is because on every one of my social medias, I
Uh,
have how my name is pronounced in my
it
bio.
literally right next in parentheses.
Right next there.
In parentheses.
Read.
It's in parentheses, which gets me so many times because I've seen it like where people are like, yeah, this is Queon. I'm like, it says Queon right there.
And it takes a lot for me not to like this is another thing. Like when we're on like stream or anything, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna flip shit on stream, but all these fingers will get to typing. Like my name is pronounced this.
Like it is key. There's a key. It's key. I say it right there with the key. It's
Key
right there
on.
with the
Key
key. Why
on.
where'd you get the cue?
It's
It's
fine.
okay. We
It's
got it.
great.
We got it. But
It's
we're
fine.
coming to my favorite thing to talk about is Wizards of the Coast because I believe
Uh,
wholeheartedly that
Hello,
criticism.
chat. This has been a great conversation. I will be on social medias. Thank you, Sam, for having me. I gotta go.
Look, I believe that criticism leads to growth, and I'm
Yeah.
hell and bound to make sure that Wizards of the freaking Coast grows, whether they like it or not.
Yeah. All right. I'm here. All right. I'm
that
back.
that
Let's go.
being said,
We got it.
that being said, they have misstepped a lot. They've done this over time, and with the new Monster Manual coming that's come out, and people are kind of on both sides of the fence for it. And the new PHB that came out last year. Um, do you what do you think of these new manuals? And do you agree with the direction that Wizard of the Coast is going in?
I think that a lot of it is them wanting to not overcorrect,
Mm-hmm.
but show that they're at least attempting to change.
Right.
Um, so the way that they're doing it now, I like a lot more than the way
Mm-hmm.
they've done it in the past. Because there's certain things that I'm still not okay with Wizards from, specifically the Hodozis, and I'm never
Mm-hmm.
letting that shit go.
Oh God, no. That they
I'm
will never live that down.
oh,
It's never they're
absolutely
never
not.
gonna live that down.
Yeah, the simple fact that there are one-to-one comparisons of the Hadozi art to minstrel shows, never, never living that down. And
Yeah.
then the other one that like really kind of like hurts my heart because I love this book and I
Mm-hmm.
love everything that is in this book, but it's the fact that its journey through the Radiant Citadel.
Ooh. Mhm.
That is the entire here. All of you coloreds, take it.
Yeah.
And that upsets me because
Yes.
every book in every adventure, everything in there is in a world of color, like
Yes.
aka like
Yes.
there is anybody in there that you can think of. Like there's an Indian world, there's a African world, there's a
Mhm.
Caribbean world. All of
Mhm.
that is in there, and it's specifically only
Right.
people of color in that book.
Yeah.
And it's like I understand that they were doing that to put a, hey, we hear you guys. We're going to put people of color in our things.
Mm. Mm.
It's just the way they did it at that time was very
Shut up.
wrong
Take
in my eye.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, okay, here's your book. Now shut up in color.
Right.
But now the way that they're moving about it, it feels like it's more integrated and it's more
Okay.
like that they're actually thinking about it. So it
Mhm.
feels like they're trying to move in the right direction, which I can appreciate.
Okay. Fair. Fair. So, if you were in charge over there, then, or um, what,
You don't
where?
want me over there. You don't want me over there. They don't want me over there.
Like, listen. Um, be happy. I'm not CEO.
Hey, I'm just saying. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So, what would if you were in charge then? What would you have done differently, or how would you have gone about this?
I'm always someone who is about inclusion in the first place. So if I was in charge of anything that they were doing, I think I would have started from having somebody from every culture actually be
Mm,
able to put their input into it.
yeah.
Because it's like, even because I've done a lot of like writing in my days,
Mm-hmm.
but even as a writer, there are experiences that I will never be able to understand or tell myself.
Right. Right.
I may live in the intersectionality of being black, from the South,
Mm-hmm.
Caribbean, gay, all of that, military. I may have all of those experiences, but there are certain things that I will never understand. I will
Right.
never understand what it's like to give childbirth. I will never
Mm-hmm.
understand what it's like to be a woman in any freaking time. I will never
Mm-hmm.
understand what it's like to live through Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Right. Right.
So during those things, you have to ask these questions. And a lot of the time it's like you have to look stupid to ask these questions.
Mm, mm,
And being okay with not looking your best because you are ignorant to a subject
mm-hmm,
is the
mm-hmm.
only way people will grow.
I love that.
And I think if that's 100% what I would do, if there's ever anything to that needs to be created, I'm asking the people who are able to fill those gaps for me because I'm one person.
Right. Right.
So
I love that. Oh my god. See, I knew I made. I was. We should. We've been trying to get this done for a minute because I already knew that we was gonna vibe so well, and like it's been so. That's okay.
how it's already been an hour. Oh my god.
Exactly. Exactly. See, exactly, and like,
Yeah, this has been good.
yeah. See, that's what I mean. Like, I already know what's gonna happen when things are gonna happen. I'm smart. Oh, so we talked about a lot about actual plays and people wanting to do this, and but you are also a producer. You do graphic design. You are the creative director and advertising manager or director. I'm correct me if I'm wrong, of Batty Bards.
Oh, I am not all of that. I would
Oh,
love to be. I would love to be. But hey, if y'all are listening, hey, call me.
like,
Um,
help a brother out.
but no, I have done a lot of work with Batty Bards,
Mhm.
but I'm not on like any official capacity as of yet.
Okay.
A lot of the
Okay.
stuff that I do now is just like as volunteer, and
Hmm.
I just
Hmm.
want to like see them grow and
Yeah.
like get to a space that I'm like, those are my people,
Yeah.
and that's really it. I want to see everybody eat.
I love that. So, but as a producer, um, how is it different for you behind the screen as opposed to in front of it? Because those are two very different intersections. Even though both the
Yeah.
same, they're still very, very different. How is it different for you, especially someone who DMs?
Yeah. The thing about producing and being behind the screen,
Mm-hmm.
um, you can redo things as much as you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
want. So you can if you don't like something, you can go back and tweak a sound. You can go
Mm-hmm.
back and switch up something. but when you're on the screen, when you're doing being like the thing that makes the world breathe and makes the world move,
Mm.
you kind of can't take back something you've said after it's been said. So it's like
Yeah.
it's there. Even if you're saying, oh, okay, don't forget that. 2 weeks later, your players are going to be like, hey, remember when this happened? It's like that was supposed to be forgotten, but sure, let's keep running with it. But it's, I think for me at least, it's a lot. Excuse me.
Mm.
I think it's a lot more dynamic, I think,
Mm-hmm.
where you get to make a lot more like creative decisions and have the time to maneuver through it.
Okay.
Because like just being on the GM seat, you kind of are in the hot seat the entire time.
Oh my God,
And
yes. Oh
and
my God. Like you'd be like,
the
I'd be
part
like,
the part that sucks is
oh.
like for not like for streamed games, yes, you can see chat and like a lot of that gets like a little distracting at a
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
time.
yeah.
So I really do enjoy when I can like I've got all of the audio, I've got all of the stuff that I want to do. I could just throw my headphones on and edit
Yeah.
and just not have to think. And it's so good. But they both have like their pros and cons. I
Yeah.
love being in front of it, but I also love being behind it.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Fair. So then, what advice would you give someone who came to you and said, "Hey, I want to be a producer, but I also want to do some actual plays." Do you think they need to have like a personality or a strength or some type of trait to be able to do both, or would you steer away from one and let them lean into another?
Honestly, I think I would tell somebody if they wanted to try like actual playing or
Mm.
producing to do to give both a shot.
Okay.
Um because you don't know what you like until you get
Right.
into it.
Right. Right.
Um, when I say I like producing, I like doing all the things after the recording's done.
Mm.
So like the video ninjas or like the Google Meets and the person who like runs the Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
no thank you. That's not me. I because I've done all of that, but that's a
uh,
little bit too much pressure because if a screen doesn't go
we
right
got
when
a
I need it
raid.
to, oh hi. Hi Raiders. How goes it?
So, guys,
Whoop, whoop,
for
whoop,
don't
whoop.
know me, I like Benny Hill. I know race like fully misogynistic, disgusting English person, still funny. That being said, that being said, welcome in the Tipsy Tiger and all your
Hi Raiders.
wonderful raiders. Thank you for being here. We are talking with the phenomenal TTRPG performer, actual play, Black LGBTQR producer, Queon. And we are getting
Hello.
into some amazing chat. It is so good. We waited way too long to get on this damn screen, but we are vibing to the point we didn't realize we've been here for an hour already. But we
Yeah,
got
it's been
time.
a good time.
We
It's
got
been a real good
time
time.
tonight. So welcome in Raiders. If you want to ask
Hi.
any of the questions for Keon, please you can redeem 50 channel points. How do you get channel points? By following this channel. If I have a mod in the chat, I don't think I do. Can I get a shout out for our wonderful The Tipsy Tiger? Do I have a mod here? I don't know if I do. I don't think I do. Oh, I'm
Thank
the
you, Heather.
mod.
Impeccable. You're the mod
Phenomenal.
and you're working.
You look. It's fun. Like I got this. I'm professional.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm doing. I got it. I got
I know, I
it.
know.
You know. So that being
um,
said, but back to what we were
yeah.
talking about. Hey John. Hey Steve. Thank you, Steve, so
Hello.
much. So yeah.
Um,
So we were talking about. So yeah. You would steer them both to both?
yeah, I'd say give it a shot to do both.
Okay.
If you because there's some people who don't know if they want to be in front of the camera or if they're comfortable enough to do it.
Okay.
But if you understand the tech side and that's where you feel the most comfortable and like the happiest, cool. But just because you do one does not mean you cannot do the other down the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
could sit here and see these people do and tell these amazing stories. You're like, oh, that looks so fun. Oh my God, I can't wait. Like, I would love to do that. The only thing stopping you is you at that point
Right.
because you're already in the space. If you're already doing the producer role, you can hop in and just like say, hey, I would like to be a player at one
Mm.
time. Even if it's just like being an NPC,
Yes.
start small and go from there. You don't
Mm.
have to take this big thing and be like, all right, I want to be in a 20-part campaign.
Right.
I want to sit here and do things and all of it. Take your time, take it slow,
Right.
get in where you feel comfortable, and then just expand from there. The only thing that's rushing you is you. We're gonna be here.
Gonna be here for a minute, actually.
We gonna be
We gonna be here. So
here.
it is Queon. Welcome in Cricket Chronicles. It is Queon right
Hello.
there. It's amazing.
Hi.
I'm so happy
It
that
is a me.
it is a me. So what advice then? And you give some great advice, like be yourself. If you're gonna do the thing, do the thing. But a lot of people tend to take the, I guess, quote or what saying of the best. I forget how it goes now. But thank you for the follow. But if they want to emulate what you do, decide like I want to be like Keon. I want to do what he's doing and how he's doing it. What advice would you give someone in this social media space who wants to copy you and emulate what you're doing?
Don't.
He's like, don't do that.
First of all, don't do that. Because again, like it is a lot of the things are just about you being you. Like you can sit here and try and copy somebody, you can try and emulate what they do. That's fine. But at the core of it, you have to put your own spin on it. You have to make something your own. Just because it's like, oh, I love Olivia Pope.
Yeah,
Like from Scandal, all time. Love that
I
show.
love Papa Pope.
Actually, my favorite of the Popes is Mama Pope. I am problematic.
Really?
I'm problematic, and I know that.
Okay,
I know
fair,
that.
fair.
So
I'm a
I
huge
am a
Papa Pope fan though. Like
I
I
am a
love me
Mama
some.
Pope apologist.
She needs.
But yeah, I know. Yep, exactly. So my thing is like, no matter how much I may love a character or like want to like emulate them in like my TTRPGs, I cannot do that. I am
Right,
not going to be able to make that happen. I'm
right.
gonna have to do it my way and make them like live through me. So you can want to do all of this, but everything you do, you have to put your own stank on it. You have to put a little
Yes,
bit of you in it.
yes,
Because just
yes.
copying somebody, if somebody wanted to watch somebody copy me, they would just watch me. Like that's the
Like,
same thing with all of these impersonators. Like just watch,
just why are
just
you
be
watching
you.
this? Go watch Keon. Like he
Like
right there.
go like this yeah, I don't know. I just it took me a long time to be me and be comfortable in being me.
I love
So
that.
I don't like seeing other people try and be somebody else instead of being themselves,
Gotcha. Okay.
because you don't know who you are or what you like while you're trying to be other people.
So you talked about being, about how it took you a long time to be you. In this space, especially for people who are in front of the screen, actual players,
Yeah.
whatever DMs, who are doing this live, um, a lot of people have mentioned imposter syndrome. Uh, man,
Yes. I
man.
have waited for this. I was hoping you would ask me this question.
um,
Ooh.
how do you manage that feeling of like, what am I doing here? Or that imposter, that feeling of not belonging or that you're not good enough, even though clearly majorly popular person in this space and in this community.
Oh.
They ain't no woe.
Whoa.
Don't woe me. Don't woe. No,
Whoa.
listen. Don't woe me. Don't woe me. Don't woe me. Ain't no woeing.
All right, all right. First of all, the way I look at it, the way that I go about things now, a lot has changed for me in the past 3 months alone. I used to believe in like imposter syndrome and just like, oh, why am I in this space? I don't think that I'm good enough. There's a whole bunch of other people that you could be talking to, da 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 da. All of that grocery list of stuff. All of that changed at PAX for me. And it was specifically because there I was in a room with so many people. I was like, this is terrifying.
Yes.
I felt like a baby in a room with people who have all of this
Giants.
shit.
Oh my god.
Right. Fucking monoliths in the
Oh my
community. And I'm just
god.
like, oh, how did I get here? A small boy from Oklahoma. How the hell did I get here? This makes no sense. Um, but the thing about it is like I reached out to a good friend of mine. Shout out to Coco, aka Coco of Coco Mac Productions. I love
Yes.
her so much. Um,
on my list. Getting there.
Oh
Getting
yeah,
there. I have
that's
a
gonna be
list.
dope.
I'm getting down the list. We getting there. We getting there.
But I reached out to her and like this was like mid spiral, and I was like, how I'm in a room with all of these people. I don't know what I'm doing here. Why am
Mm-hmm.
I here? And she told me, "You're in the room with these people." I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah." You got invited to be in this room, right? And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So you also deserve to be in the room with these people, and you are in the same circle as them. Why are you freaking out? I was like, "Huh, okay, cool. I'm not hearing that. Whatever."
Of course. Of
Oh
course.
no. And then I got back to my hotel room, and this is on
Mm-hmm.
the first night of PAX,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm scrolling through TikTok, and there's a TikTok that says, "Black people, I don't know why you believe in imposter syndrome. That makes no sense. Because if you do not deserve to be in the room, they will tell you to leave."
Ooh, I don't like you no more.
And
Stop yelling
that
at me.
and at that moment, everything just like fell into place. And I was like, because I have been in rooms where it's like people don't think I belong, people don't think that I
Yeah.
fit in,
Yeah.
and they've been like, "Why are you here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing here?" And right after that, it was like nobody asked why I was in that room. Nobody asked why I was in this space, because everything I have done, I have worked to be in this space. I have earned my place. I have put in every piece of thought and every piece of like actual effort to do this. And I love what I do. I love
Mm.
this. Like, so it's like, I'm not going to let anybody tell me that I'm not supposed to be in a space that I have fought to be in.
Oh,
The same way that I have fought to be who I am, I have clawed my way into every room that I have fucking been in, and nobody has just opened the door and said, "Hey, you could be in here because we just think you should." Fuck that. You've earned every place that you have ever walked into. And that is what I tell myself. And I don't believe I have imposter syndrome anymore because of that. I may have bad days where I'm just like,
right.
damn, this is a lot. But imposter syndrome, thinking that I don't deserve anything, absolutely not. And I hope other people start thinking that too, because 100% of the time, somebody will tell you you ain't supposed to be somewhere if
Mm-hmm.
you don't, if you aren't. So,
Well, I feel like I got told off. All right.
sorry.
Well,
So sorry.
exactly, Sonny. Whoop, whoop.
So sorry,
Okay.
babes.
Well, I'm gonna shut up now.
Yeah. Happy Black
This.
History Month.
Oh my god. So, um, man.
I'm so sorry. It's just like it when it once it I can't even get my words right. When it hit me, it was just like
Wow.
everything kind of just like fell into place, and it's like you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be in these spaces if you did not deserve them. There's
Trust.
nobody that's just going to open this
Trust
door for
someone
you.
I've been trying to get on my channel for months to lock in the experience I've had for months.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize because you mentioned PAX, and I want to touch on this a little bit, but I've noticed that with a lot of newer creators or creators who are finding their, I guess, their footing and becoming solidified in the space, and I'm gonna include me in this since you just said all of what you just said.
Yeah.
They have had this realization after going to places like PAX, whether it's PAX Unplugged, PAX West, PAX Australia, wherever, where
Yeah.
they've been welcomed to these spaces, and then you're like, these are giants, and I'm in a room with giants. Not
Yeah.
realizing, like you just said, you're in the room because you are comparable to them.
Yeah.
How important are these conventions to people who want to delve into becoming TTRPG performers and actual players?
Ooh. I think that they're very important for very specific reasons.
Okay.
A lot of people want to look at these as like, oh, well, I'm trying to sell myself to these like big
Mm-hmm.
names or all of this other stuff. Um, I think a lot of things boil down to the small moments. A lot
Okay.
of things boil down to just like the conversations you actually have with people. So if you're going to go there and just try and like make it all like a branding move,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think you've messed up. But if
Okay.
you go to these places trying to build community, and build like an actual like web of people that you can go to and talk to and trust,
Mm-hmm.
I think that is where the importance is.
Mm. I love it.
That's at least what it was for me, because
Yeah.
like going around just like I was again, little fish big pond. And I'm like, oh, these people are giants in this space.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've seen like people with millions of YouTubers 5 feet from me. And I'm like, oh, this is terrifying. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this.
Man, okay, you were at
Get
PAX
me out of
Unplugged
here.
because we saw each other at PAX Unplugged,
Yeah,
and I got a hug from Captain Robert, and I was just like, what is happening?
right. I'm like, okay. And
Like,
it's like people saying like, oh my God, I know you. That's the thing where it's just like,
what do you
me?
mean?
I'm just a guy. What are you talking about?
Like, what do you mean? Like, I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm like, hi. He's like, I love your stuff. I'm like, thanks.
Uh,
Okay,
me?
I'm gonna go
Okay.
back to my hotel and lay down.
Okay. So yeah, it's like, as I think as long as people go into it with like the right ideas of just trying to build
Hmm.
community and create like a web of people instead of trying to just sell themselves,
Right.
I think it will work out for you.
So then, what do you say to the people who, because there are a few, there have been a few I've seen it, and I've mostly seen it at Gen Con because it's such a weird convention. I love it,
Yeah.
but it's such a weird convention. It's very much an advertising thing sometimes. Um, what do you say to those people who go there with the mindset that I'm going here to network, I'm going here to make connection and, you know, kick doors down to get into this community? What do you say to those people?
I mean, if it works for you, it works for you.
Right.
You go right ahead. But I've seen it where if people go in too strong, or if they
Hmm.
start going in with their 50 point, this is who I am, this is what I bring to the table, and this is what I can do for you type of thing, people don't like, oh, okay, cool. It turns it into like more of just like a business
Yeah.
deal and not
Yeah.
just trying to like make a friend type of
Right.
thing. Where
Right.
it's like, if I've seen somebody who I'm like, I genuinely love your content, I'm just trying to make a friend. If shit pops off from there, cool, great.
Right.
But I'm genuinely here because it's like, I want to roll dice with you. Not
Yes.
not because of what you can do for me. I want to roll dice with you because I
Hmm.
love what you
You
do.
do. Right. Right. I love it. I
And
love
that
it.
is like, again, if it works for people, it works for people going in like that. But
Hmm.
I just know for me, that's not something that I can do because it just doesn't feel genuine to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if going in like with your 50-point PowerPoint and being that for you works, and I'm not knocking anybody's hustle.
Right.
Never gonna do that. But just if it works for you, it works for you. But don't be discouraged if it
Mhm.
doesn't.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I love it. So you talked about DMing, and I love asking this question for my DMs. How do you prep for games? Because I've asked this question, and I've been so surprised by some people. How do you prep for games that you not only play in as actual play, but how do you prep for games for that you get ready to DM for?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. Oh, because I think I prep my games a little bit differently depending on what the purpose is.
Okay.
Um, for actual plays, I have like a far more structure.
Ooh, really?
I Oh yeah. For my actual plays, I think I prep them a lot like, I wouldn't say an essay outline, but
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a no, yeah, I would say an essay outline where it's like I want to make sure we hit these specific beats
Okay.
in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
However we get there, I don't care. But
Right.
these things have to happen this episode for the next episode to flow right.
Okay.
Um, but for like my home games or anything like that, I prep far less. Far less, if at all. Like, I'm like,
you,
cause
you, Critical Bar, freaking, Andy the DM. All you got, I don't prep for my home games. Nah, like,
like I far less. Like, if anything, if the last session I know that my characters are being like my players are being like
mhm,
hot headed or anything, and I'm like, there's gonna be a combat. I should probably prep that.
right.
But everything else, I'm like, I already know like the NPCs in this particular area. I've already created
Mm,
them.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like I do a lot of work on the front side of things, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like before the game even starts. So it's
Gotcha.
like I know like this random NPC that they're gonna ask for because I know they're gonna go into a random shop. So
Mm-hmm.
let me
Mm-hmm.
have seven random random creators here where I'm like, okay, cool. This one sells herbs, that one sells potions, this one sells armor.
Mm-hmm.
What you looking for? I got it already. It's fine. So it's like I do a lot on the front side so I can be willy nilly when I'm actually playing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, I love that. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Um, what is your favorite setting? Let me rephrase that. Homebrew or modules?
Ooh, homebrew, homebrew.
Really?
I would, but it's because even in if I'm running a module, I still homebrew it.
Okay.
I will always like. There's always going to be something that I change
Okay.
because
Okay.
just
Fair.
because it's even like Curse of Strahd. Like
Yes.
one of my home games is a Curse of Strahd game,
Mm-hmm.
but it's 20 25 years after Strahd has been dealt with.
Ah.
So it's
Okay.
like we're still dealing with like some of the NPCs from Strahd,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but it's a whole different spin on it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So even like
Ooh.
like because I've ran the Radiant Citadel, and
Mm-hmm.
also listen, the ADHD is the main reason why I can't do a module straight because I'm gonna fuck up some shit. Like I'm gonna fuck it up. Like even when I've been on radio and
Mm-hmm.
like I've had to read like ad reels,
Yeah.
and I always feel like my best stuff is when I am going from the cuff.
Mm.
Even in college for like my public speaking class, this is bad. This is very bad.
Oh boy. Oh
I
boy.
straight like we had to prep all of this stuff for a presentation. It was our final project,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." We did our full speech, and they're like, "We're missing like 4 minutes of shit," and I'm like,
That's a lot.
"That's a lot." And I was like, "I got it." They're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll ad lib like 4 minutes. 4 minutes is all we need. Say less."
That's first of all. Pause.
So,
Pause. 4 minutes is not a little bit of time when you're
no, it's
speaking.
not. It's not. They
Mm-mm.
told me this the day of the project, by the
Bro,
way.
that people. Okay, for people who don't do public speaking, when they tell you you're missing 4 minutes, whether it's 4 minutes for public speaking, 4 minutes of a scene, 4 minutes of whatever,
Yeah.
4 minutes in actual time is hours of prep. Stop playing with me. What do you
Hey,
mean?
it's we were and I still remember this. We had to create something to sell to the public, and our product was it was a pill that if you it would stop you from saying things you aren't supposed to say. It was for
Mm-hmm.
life's bleepable moments, right?
Ooh, okay.
So I was basically the person that needed the bleepable moments. And I'm like, oh yeah, I could feel this because that's actually me. They based the pill off of something I
That's
actually needed.
like I need this pill.
I was like, sign me up.
I love it. I love that.
So yeah, like it was honestly something like, and that's the part that like kind of scares me when it comes to like uh DMing
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that I kind of can fill that space and I kind of can ad lib
Mm-hmm.
and like pull things out of the ether, and that scares me because it always used to get me in trouble. So
Ah,
now where it's
okay.
something that it's like this is good. I'm doing a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of reworking and rewiring the way
Yeah,
my
yeah,
brain
yeah.
thinks, where it's like you're doing something right. You don't have to overthink this.
Oh, I love
So
that. I love that. So we talked about how, as a DM, like how you prep for your actual plays as opposed to
yeah.
prepping for your home tables. But as an actual player, whether you are role playing as a player at the table or getting in front of the screen that's on someone's stream or your own, do you prep as an actual player? Because I know some
Oh,
people were like,
absolutely.
yeah, I know some people are like, I just go in there dry.
I can't do that. I don't know. Like there have been times where as an actual player I do go and drive because like let's say I have just got home from work and I have
Hmm.
a stream whatever. So I don't have time to like decompress and I go in
Yeah.
raw dog in life. But I think the best times that I've had when it comes to gaming
Hmm.
is when I have practice a little bit, where I'm like, I do know
Yes.
where, like, I know what is about to happen, and I know where
Hmm.
my character is about to go. So it's like I do like a little bit of prep. I don't like to over prep a character, because I feel like when I do that, then they become like very one dimensional, and I don't
Yes.
give them room to like breathe and exist.
Hmm.
But prepping a little bit for them, I absolutely,
Mm.
if I feel like you have to,
Yeah,
because if you
yeah.
don't, it's like it's
It's a weird stumbling moment. Like
yeah,
like when I first started doing this and I first started doing like actual plays, I was like, I'll just go and do the character,
yeah,
not realizing that I need to hit some points. It's a weird stumbling moment, not knowing how to respond as your character.
yes,
You know.
because there's a lot of times I feel like when you don't prep, you start to bleed through and not your character.
Yes. Yes.
Where it's like
Yes.
there's a lot of times where it's like, oh, Keon is making this choice, not this
Yes.
person,
Not this.
and that's
Exactly.
not good.
Exactly.
That's not good.
Exactly, and it was one of those moments when it first happened, and I was just like, oh, this is a Sam moment. This is not a character
Right.
moment. And when it happened, I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
So because like that was a horrible performance. I hate it.
Yeah. Speaking of, like, I had a recording
Hmm.
this week where I was like, oh, I feel like I did terrible on it. And it was just, and I'm only bringing this up because my
Hmm.
DM has just walked in.
Oh, hello, welcome in.
Hi, Buck. But I had a recording and it felt like I was bleeding through a little bit just
Hmm.
because of like where the character was. But then I kind of had to stop and think. I was like, this is also where the character is.
Right,
We
right.
just happen to be at the same spot at the same time.
Yes, yes.
And that's okay, but where it's like doing things that this character would never do. Like
Right.
if this character is supposed to be like cool, calm, and collected, and me being a short fuse hothead myself,
Like,
I know that this person is stoic. Why are they yelling right now?
yeah,
What is
exactly.
this?
Like unless they have a secret anger issue I don't know about, this not right.
Hello, Apple.
Hi, Apple. Welcome in, guys. For everyone who just came in here, welcome to the channel. We are talking with Queon, an amazing TTRPG performer, producer, and streamer, and all the wonderful things. Because finally, that being said, if you want to
Yeah.
ask any questions, please redeem 50 channel points. You can ask the questions; they will go in the queue. We'll ask those toward the end of this show, whenever that will be, because we are vibing and we are nowhere near
We're in
the
danger.
we are in danger. We lock in. Lock in. I'm like right. Lock in.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm having
because
fun.
we having fun. We just talking.
Yeah.
So, um, so speaking of character bleed,
Yeah.
how do you as an actual player? Because this has happened a couple times for me, where you've been so into the character, you've prepped for that character, you've hit your points during stream, and you have been emotionally locked in with the character. Have you had character bleed where you had to really sit back and find yourself?
Oh yeah. Um, there's certain times where something will happen to my character and I have to
Mm.
grieve that moment myself.
Yeah.
Where it's like, as it's a piece of it, like it doesn't happen as much anymore because I can
Mm.
kind of like separate the two a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But when I first started playing, it was very hard to be like, this is just my character. That was a lot for them,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that was very traumatic for them. Like I remember hold on. I have a sneeze that has been waiting
Go
to
for
go.
it. Go for it.
It
Also,
won't
hydrate,
go.
people,
Yeah,
because
I'll do that
I'm
while I'm
thirsty as hell. Oh my god!
it's
Don't laugh! Don't laugh!
it's not coming. I'm trying.
You know why? Because you
Uh,
want to sneeze.
yeah, I want to because it's right here.
It's that feeling. You're like, oh, that hurts so bad. And you're
Yeah.
like, go away, go away. You see, I like
Yep.
tap my nose. I'm like, people like,
Um.
I'll be in like a conference room, like interviewing or something
Yeah.
for my day job. I'm like,
Yeah.
and they're like, what are you doing?
I have to
I'm
sneeze.
trying to sneeze. But yeah, so
Yeah.
the character. Has it ever been a problem for you in the beginning where character bleed um, made you decide like, oh, maybe this is not for me, or maybe I should dial back on my performance?
Oh yeah. Because when I first started, my I did this was before like I even got into actual plays because this was like
Mm-hmm.
back in 2018, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was playing a character. We had got to a very traumatic scene, and they had lost their entire family. I'm not talking about just like, oh, like the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about they lived in like an entire like settlement and an encampment, and everybody was gone.
Ooh.
So she was like going through so much and like trying to figure out what happened to them,
Mm-hmm.
running through everything. And I'm like, I kind of forgot about like everybody else at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, th- as I got to like the meat and potatoes, everything that was going on, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right
Right.
because
Right.
we're playing a collaborative game.
Mm-hmm.
I should not just be like leaving everybody behind. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like just because I'm into it and just because I'm enthralled in this because it's like my character story,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean I get to leave everybody behind.
Right. Right.
And that's where I was like, ooh, let me dial it back because we're all here to
Mm.
play a game together. Even if I'm like elbow deep in what's happening, that doesn't mean somebody else is.
Right. Right.
So, and even now when I'm like, as I'm playing, I do a lot of alley ooping when it comes to role play.
Okay. Okay.
And it's just because I don't want to take up too much screen time. I don't want to
Yes.
be like,
Yes.
I don't want to be the main character because that's not
Yes.
what we're here to do.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like, if there's ever somebody who hasn't talked in a while, if there's somebody who is just like being a wallflower or something, I will
Mm-hmm.
always kind of put my character in the position to like bring them into it, or
Mm-hmm.
me as a player, I will just alley oop it over to them. And I think
Ooh.
that also helps out the DM as well because
Yes.
the DM is trying to see so many things going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't see if a player is missing out on things.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So,
Oh, I love that. I love that. So, as a performer, are there any regrets or mistakes that you've made that you wish that you could have taken back or changed?
I can't think of one right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can't think of a performance that like I did something and I was just like, yeah, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, because there's a lot of it where it's like, I wish the character wouldn't have done that because
Yeah. Yeah.
me playing it, I'm like, I love that. I'm like,
Right. Right.
this is like not the oh, this is what my character would do, but I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah.
It kind
It,
of is. I'm
it
like, I'm
kind
not.
of is. Like, I
It,
mean, I feel like that my
I'm
character would be a
sorry.
raging bitch. I'm sorry, but it's just the
He
way it
would
is.
be. Like he would be like my character would be like a tumultuous wreck right now. I'm so
Mm.
sorry. That is what he would do. Um, so it's like I've gotten to a point where I can separate me and the character. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot less of like, damn, I wish that wouldn't happen. I wish I wouldn't have done
Right. Right.
that. Unless it's like I say something out of character and it
Mm-hmm.
ends up hurting somebody. I
Right.
always that is when I feel the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it's something I may have said and like somebody may have taken it the wrong way or it came across the wrong way,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
when I care because I want everybody to have fun because
Right.
we're all here to have fun and a lot
Right.
of this is volunteer time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
volunteering your time, you should not be upset and miserable playing at a
Mm-hmm.
fucking table.
Period. Period. 100. Period.
Ever.
Period.
Ever.
I recently, right before it happened, right before recording for Castleton, but I had to walk away from a table that
Mm.
was a friend pre-recorded podcast, someone who I knew for a long time, but very disappointing. And I was like, I hate you now, and like I didn't say that out loud, but it was one of those moments that like I need to walk away
Yikes.
from this.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you, and I'm disappointed in this, but I need to
Yeah.
walk away from this, and it was very very sad. But yeah, if you need to walk, walk away. Bye.
Yeah.
You know.
There are times where it's just like this is not benefiting me anymore and
Yeah.
I have to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think there's been like a table that I have actively been at where it's
Mm.
like, "Oh, y'all are trash. I got to go."
Y'all
Um
are trash.
y'all are trash. I don't like this. But it's because like I not that I'm like I feel things out. But
Mm,
just because one player at the table I might have an issue with,
right.
um, oh, I lied. I just remembered. I
Oh,
lied. I was like,
I love when the memory comes back. You're like, oh, no, never
there
mind.
was one time where I was like, I have to leave this table,
Mm,
and there was one time where I was like, oh, this is not going to be good,
right,
and that's
right.
just because it's like there are a lot of things that I can handle.
Hmm.
Disrespecting me is not one.
Right, right.
So the second that I feel disrespected, I'm not staying. It's either
Mm.
me or you, and I'm always choosing me.
Always choose that. Like I'm
I'm
die.
always choosing.
Like I gotta go. Not
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
So
like with that, there's only two people in the community where I'm like, I'm not going to badmouth
same.
them to the point
Hmm.
where other people don't play with them, but
But
I
I'm
will
not playing.
not.
Same.
I won't.
I won't play.
Y'all have fun. Y'all have fun now. You here? I won't be
But
here
this
though.
is not the table I will be at for this
No, no,
point
no, no,
time.
no,
Like,
no.
so thanks for the offer, but that's not someone I'm working with.
Yeah.
And I always ask people who are playing at my tables, is there anyone that you don't want to play with that
Yeah.
is currently at this table? And if you say that person, like, okay, I will have you on the next time.
Right.
You
But
know,
and that's also like as a I think that just goes to like GM etiquette at least,
yes, yes.
where it's like if you, the way I see it, if you have a casting call, you get a shit ton of people that respond.
Ooh,
You narrow it down to who you are like, yes, this is a good fit. These are who
hmm,
I want. You send that perspective cast to people so
hmm,
they can agree on it, and
yes,
they don't like let them know if you have any issues, let me know separately,
yes, yes,
because
yes.
I do not want to sit here and say anything about like what's going on. If you think it's something we can fix, we'll talk about it. But if you
Hmm.
do not think it's even worth doing that, we'll have you at the next table.
That's it. And it always
That's it.
works out, usually. And it's very few and far between because it's one of those things that, because community is the way that like I said, the TTRPG, and you said it too, this community is so incredibly welcoming.
Yeah.
That there's very few people who are like, I'm not gonna play with you. So it
I
doesn't
don't want to
happen
play with
often.
you.
It doesn't
Yeah.
happen often. So which is
But
amazing.
if it does happen,
But
I know it's for a good reason.
yeah, it's like okay,
Yeah.
go this way now.
Yeah. It's
um,
like, yeah, I'm not.
so gaming is become a big part of your life, especially in the
Mhm.
TTRPG community. Um, what is a life lesson you've learned from this?
It's okay being yourself is the lesson I've learned. There's been so many times where just growing up is like, I don't know if I'm enough or just being me is enough.
Hmm.
Um, but there's been so many people who want to just play with me because they're like, oh, well, I just like being around you.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
okay,
Aww.
that's new. Thank you,
Aww.
but okay.
Oh my
So yeah,
god.
yeah. There's so many times where it's just like, um, there's a lot of sometimes you just need to know that you're enough,
Hmm.
and it really does feel like this is where you're supposed to be, and
Hmm.
just like certain things, it's just like you don't have to question it, and this is what I
Yes.
feel like being in this and learning this, because it's been so much fun,
Oh my
so
god.
much fun, and I've made so many amazing friends in this. uh
Mm.
it's
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, there's so many people are like, I've always want to be your friend. I'm like, why? Like, usually my first reaction is like, why?
Me,
Like,
this
all
guy.
right. I mean, I'll be a
Okay.
friend, but
Hey, yeah,
I'm a
listen,
whack job. Like, what the fuck?
I am a loon.
Yeah, like, woo,
If you
the
if this is what you want,
crazy.
it is. I also tell everybody it's like I am very friendly, but I didn't learn this in the TTRPG space. I learned this
Hmm.
in the spiritual community first.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Not everybody has your best interest at heart, so you do not
Yes.
need to tell everybody what you are doing.
Right.
If there is a specific project that you are working on, or a specific person you are trying to like work with, or if like you're in talks with it, some
Yep.
things, don't talk about that shit until it lands,
Yes.
because
Yes.
there are so many
Yes.
people that you don't even realize that will be wishing you downfall and
Yes.
wishing like ill on you, until afterwards you're like, damn, that's crazy. That thing fell apart. That thing
Yep.
fell
Why
apart.
did it fall
I only
apart so
told two.
fast?
Like, how did this happen? Because you got somebody who you think is on your side sitting here wishing on your, like, wishing doubt and bad things for you.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
sometimes you just gotta let people go. So
Yeah, I agree. That there's so many times where it's like I've told people this before, and I learned this from the fire department because I work for New York City Fire Department.
yeah,
Until your butt is either in the seat or in the class or you got that promotion, until the thing has happened, shut it. Don't
yep,
believe anyone because so many times in my first 3 years in the fire department, they're like, "Oh, I heard you got that hashtag position." And then like I got the hashtag position. 2 days later, you didn't get that hashtag position.
yeah,
Okay, so I'm gonna shut up,
yep.
mind my business until it's my
Not gonna
business.
not gonna say nothing. And
Yep.
there's been so many things where it's like, and, and certain people like, and people don't even realize that sometimes they are wishing bad on you
Yes.
because they're wishing like, oh, I wish something like that would happen.
Happen
Because
with
they'll be
me.
like, oh, that's
Yeah.
great for you,
Right.
and like I'm happy for you, but
But
deep
I'm
down they're like
jealous.
a
Yeah.
little resentful.
Yeah.
So it's like even if somebody does have like well intentions,
Hmm.
intentions don't equal impact. So
Yes. 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 So we've been talking about TTRPGs and all these wonderful things. I have to ask this question because I already know I collect things. But Dice Goblin or Mini Collector?
excuse me, I knew this question was coming. Dice
Oh,
Goblin.
alrighty. Well,
Yeah, I am 100% a
alrighty.
Dice Goblin. I love my little math rocks. So
I love it.
yeah,
I love it. Listen, I have a whole. It's sitting. It's just sitting here. It's
yeah.
just a little tiny box right now sitting here behind me. There's bags and there's a box of them somewhere.
There's
Um,
like
there's a
these right
mimic.
here.
Exactly. Like
Like,
there's a mimic somewhere with my dice in it. I don't know where it is.
there's these right
Yeah.
here. I, there's these
Oh.
right here.
Yep. Yep.
I have so many dice. I don't know. It just does me right.
It's just a thing that keeps happening. Like, they're everywhere. Like literally, there's so many times when I very first started like doing this, I walked down the hallway like, why is there dice here? This is weird. Like,
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
randomly. So I have to ask this question because everyone knows, especially with the new PHB out and the monster manual and people getting annoyed. Are you going to be learning the new PHB rules? It's not an actual
Ooh,
change. There's so many little nuances that a lot of people are kind of like, I don't want to. I already know these rules. Why are you changing the little ones? Are you gonna
yeah.
delve into the 2024 PHB?
So I'm in a couple campaigns where we are using the 2024, and I'm still
Okay,
in some where we're using the old rules.
okay, okay.
When it comes to certain things, I think the PHB, the new one at least, is doing them right
Right.
because the overhaul that they did for Fighter,
Mm-hmm,
beautiful.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That deserved it. That needed that. But then you have what they did to like paladins or what they
Oof,
did to warlocks.
oof.
Um, it's little things, and I think the spellcasters are the ones who got hit the hardest by these new
Yes,
things.
yes.
And as somebody who was once a druid main, that sucks. That hurts
I'm so
because
sorry.
like, why would you do this to me?
I am so sorry. Oh my gosh, you got hurt. Also, I'm kind of annoyed because barbarians shouldn't have magic, but anyway, um,
Right.
like
There's
it
certain things where it's like
irritates me.
just it's like you can and I think what they did with the PHB is it seems like a lot of it is trying to balance with what homebrew is.
Yes.
Sorry, my familiar is waking up.
Oh, that's
So
okay.
you might see a puppy running around here
That's
soon.
okay. She's over here laying down, being, herself and her
um
sisters at my feet. So I'm like, all right. Mhm.
um but yeah, I think a little bit when it comes to the 2024, the homebrew community makes a lot of things that are like overpowered. AKA,
Yes.
um, here's looking at you, the Echo Fighter. And I say that as somebody who loves the Echo
Yeah,
Knight.
yeah,
The Echo
yeah.
Knight is my favorite because it's overpowered. You can do so much with it.
Hmm.
It feels like they wanted to bring everything up for the homebrew aspect.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and after the whole LGL debacle, I'm thankful for it because they're still at least letting people do
Yes.
homebrewing. But I think that they've changed a lot without changing much,
Hmm.
which leaves like people in a weird space
Yes.
because it's like we may not have originally liked what they were doing when it came to like changing the classes,
Hmm.
but if they would have just went full force and changed it all, I feel like it would have a completely different reception.
Right,
So it's like
right,
either people would just still be playing 5e, but now we're doing this 5.1, 5e, 5 point whatever,
right,
one
right,
being situation, and it's just a little weird. So for me, I think I'm like I like 2024, like the 2014 because it's what I know.
right,
And everybody is of course gonna like what they know.
right. No one wants to change, you know.
Yeah.
People
So
kind of like one of those
if you're
things
gonna
like,
do some new shit, if,
yeah, but it's like, look, I'm okay with doing new stuff. My problem comes in with the fact that it's little nuanced things that they change, and I
yeah,
gotta go hunting through this 20. It's back there. But
you better than me.
I,
Mine's digital.
like I don't want to hunt through this with these little nuanced changes. You know,
Yeah.
like it's super annoying, and I don't want to.
But there
Exactly,
are
cling
like
to the 2014.
small things that they changed where I'm like, okay, we
Oh,
were
that's
doing that
kind of cool.
anyway.
Yeah, we're doing that
Like
anyway.
using
Yeah.
guidance as a reaction, we was doing that
We've
anyway.
been doing that, yeah. You know, I was like,
We was doing that anyway.
I was doing that anyway.
Like,
Like bonus action for for a
yeah,
potion. Been doing that, like
yeah.
so
It,
totally
it
fine.
it really just feels like
Yeah,
brain.
right. Also,
Sorry.
agree.
They
Cleric not having a god until level 3. So how are you cleric?
stupid. Anyway, a warlock not having their patron until level
Until level
3.
3 doesn't make sense.
Dumb.
How? How? Where's it coming
Makes
from?
no sense.
Are they farting
But
spells? What are we doing?
right. The, and these I feel like this question is going to be coming up anyway, so I'm going to bring it up now. The reason why the 2024 is
Mm-hmm.
worded the way it is worded
Mm-hmm.
and the way things are changed, the way things have been changed is because of every one of them schmugging rules as written motherfuckers. Every last rules as written DM who is like, "Oh, that's not what the book says."
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what this book says.
Well, that answers my question. Then rules is written or rule of cool.
Rule of cool. Like my god, like if you're like I am always about like if the story is great, bump these rules.
Right.
Because it's like at a certain point it's like we will hash out these rules later and don't like
We gonna
as a
figure this
GM like
out.
you have every right to say we can do this now but we won't be doing this later because at this moment this calls for this. I'm not rules checking shit. In the finale of World Replica, my players can attest to it. They wanted they used the power of friendship to kill my boss.
Look. The people who have played at my home tables or have played or they have paid games for me or paid campaigns, um, know that if you want to cast that spell and you don't have any spell slots, you got health points, right?
You like exhaustion, right?
Yeah, not even you. You can die for that spell.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make you
run it.
bleed, but you can have the spell.
Yeah, you can go.
Cut
Like
yourself.
I like when it comes to like D&D specifically, if you want to use like spell slots you don't have, what other resources you got? Paint
Exactly.
me a picture of how this can
How does
work.
this work? Yeah,
Like how do you want this to work and do I agree with it?
yeah. I mean, I will
And
say this: I did take some inspiration from 2024, and made some spells for barbarians, even though I'm annoyed about it. But it ties into their rage as opposed to like
yeah.
magic, which is fine.
Yeah,
You know,
fair.
you know.
That's fine. It's just like I like Sunny said, I look at them as like more of guidelines
Yes,
than like
yes.
these are set. You have to do this
Exactly,
because if I
exactly.
had to do this, you would be here over my shoulder telling me I had to do this.
Exactly, exactly.
It's my shit. And there's so many things in there where the DM has discretion on everything.
Mm.
Get out of my face.
Like,
I'm
go away now.
go
I
away,
need you to go away now. Um,
please.
so, um, do you have any like recommendations for creators, especially creators who are new to the space, who want to follow people that are championing positive change in the TTRPG community?
Um, what do you mean by that?
So a lot of times I've had this question before, either in a DM or when I'm streaming, like, oh, can you recommend a person of color, a black person who's a TTRPG performer? Can you recommend someone from the LGBTQIA community, QIA, who's part of the TTRPG community, who's a really good actual play? What recommendations would you give to someone who asked that question, um, that are actually championing positive change as opposed to just
Okay.
being a token person there? Because I'm not going to give you an answer. One, go look for it yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I'm selfish, so I'm always gonna spout my friends first.
Yes,
Like I'm
same.
always gonna talk about my homies first. So it's like, if anybody is like asking me or looking for like a place or like just trying to find like really dope people to hang out with,
Hmm.
I would point them towards Batty Bards. I would point
Yes.
them through to World D5, to Sword and Key. I
Yeah.
would send them to all of those places because people who are actually doing the work and wanting to put like effort into making this a safe space and an inclusive space, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love it if people did their own research, but I understand now,
Hmm.
if we're looking for very specific things, it's easier to ask somebody who's already in it.
Okay.
Like
Fair.
I'm
Fair. Fair.
I'm
Fair.
not going to, like, if my sister came to me and was like, "Hey, I'm trying to get into such and such," I'm not going to
Hmm.
turn her away and be like, "Girl, do your own research."
Well,
Uh
yeah. But a
so
stranger
but
DMing you,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
going, it's kind of
But
different from like a
yeah,
friend asking.
I I I guess, but I'm also looking at it like, it's different when we're talking about versus
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So because it's like, if you're somebody who is looking for a community in a space of like
Mm.
a where a lot of people don't look like you and you're
Mm.
trying to find people who do look like you, of course I am going to be there for
Right.
you.
Right.
But if you are just looking for somebody who you can cast in something because you need black people in the space,
Mm.
because you're like, oh, where you wake up, you're like, oh, this is an all white space, or you want to have
Mm.
your players go around trying to find people and just be like, oh, well, help me find somebody who's black. I'm
Mm.
not doing that.
Yes.
That I'm
Fair.
not doing.
Facts.
But if it's like, if we're sitting here trying to like, you want to get into it and you want to feel accepted,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely,
Mm, I love it. I
absolutely
love it.
do that.
So I have a fun question for you. If you
So,
and your friends are stuck on a desert island and all you had to do was get to play D&D for 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, what setting are you playing in or running?
ooh, ooh, that's hard. That's hard.
This is a harder question.
God, there's a harder
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is why you can totally swear. This is why um I send
Try my
questions
best.
ahead of time because I know what's coming out my mouth, and people are like, "God damn, Sam, what the fuck?" Like,
I don't have the questions over here, and I don't know like where they fall. I'm just like, okay,
they
these look
don't.
good.
They I'm just kind of going, "We'll see." I like this one.
Fair. Oh, I I like Faerun is like the easy one, of course. But it's easy because it's
You
like,
just got a
duh.
call back. Sorry.
What?
Did he read the email?
Yes, I read the email. Thank you very much. Cloud, when I catch you.
I love it. I love
uh,
it.
I don't know. That's really hard. I don't think I would run an actual D&D world. I
Mm-hmm.
think I would run mine.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, fair.
Yeah, I think I would run mine because my world of Ouroboros, I have
Mm.
so much that I have put into this.
Yeah.
I have I have cultures. I have like guilds. I've got like 7 continents with actual
Mm.
rulers and how their trades and everything work, and I know it in and out.
Yes, yes.
I don't think I could just pick up Faerun on like, I don't think I could run that properly the
Right.
way you would want it to be. They would have to be stuck in my little bitty world.
I got it, which is fun, which is fair. That's so.
Yeah.
Look, you're in a desert island. I get to. If you're the DM, this is it. This is your world. Like, I got this.
Yeah.
Here's the other hard one. If you could perform for anyone, or play with anyone, or DM for anyone, dead or alive, real or fiction, up to
Uh-huh.
5 or 6 people, who
Five or
would it be?
six.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. 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 Hold on. Kiki Palmer.
Ooh, nice.
Um. hmm. Is Kiki Palmer simply because like that would be a funny tape
It'll be
already.
hilarious.
That would be hilarious. Um, real or fiction? That's where it gets hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck. I'm trying not to say Beyonce just because like I would want to be in that lady's presence, but I
Right.
don't think she would
I
give
don't.
me what I need.
Yeah, and I
I
don't
don't
think
think she would give me what I
she
need.
don't feel D&D to me. You know.
It's not even that she
Or
don't feel D&D.
TTRPG.
It uh yeah, no, not her.
Got it. Okay.
Kendrick Lamar for
Mm.
damn sure.
Oh God, yes,
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
Um I don't know if you know them. They were on Dropout. Persephoroth.
Yes, of course.
I would
I
love
need to
to
figure out a
play
way
with
to get in that
Persephoroth.
lady's DMs not nasty,
Like so
and
bad.
get that
Um
person on my channel. I've been trying hard.
Absolutely. I want to play with Persephoroth so bad.
Yes,
Um,
follow them too. I'm like
yes, please.
I've been stalking. like, okay, she's streaming tonight. I'm gonna ask questions. Hey, book welcome
Like
in.
who else we got? This is the one that's this you said this was hard. You're right.
Yep, yep.
Fiction. Like I'm trying to think of like oh this hurts. This hurts just because like I just want to play with them.
Yeah.
Uh T'Challa.
Ooh.
Like I
Oh.
'cause, um
Oh. Oh, that hurts my oh, that hurt my
yeah,
soul.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that hurt. Ow.
Yeah. I would also want to play with Wanda from
Mm.
like the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that'll be my 5.
Okay, okay.
Those would be my 5.
That's a good thing. I like
There's
that.
so many more though, but oh
You
god.
can go on and on and
I
on.
could.
That's why I was like 5 to 6 people. People are like, I only get 5 or 6.
Yeah,
That's
cuz
it.
I'm like cuz it's like of course Abria, of course Brennan,
Of course, of course.
like hell, I would love to play with Matt. I would love to play with Iffy.
Like,
Um
there's so many people, like people who are like, they're like dead. I said dead or alive. I'm like Robin
yeah, it's
Williams,
like
freaking like
yeah, oh my god,
yeah,
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams is fucking phenomenal. You
Phenomenal.
know,
Will Smith.
Will
Um,
Smith. There's so many. Like, it's like,
so many people.
you know,
Fucking
Richard
Jordan
Pryor.
Peele.
Oh, like I could go.
The, like the list can go on.
On
It's
and
just
on and
like
on and on, and it's
and like
like
that's not even touching like the people who are like also in the TTRPG community because I'm
yes,
like
yes.
like again Matthew Mercer, freaking Ryan McManus,
Mm-hmm.
all like I could go on,
It's
but
never ending. It's never
yeah.
ending. Okay, so I mean, yeah, I know. Believe me, I know.
I could be here. I could be here all day.
You could be here all day. You're like, I'm good. This is fine. This is fine.
Uh,
So question from we're gonna take some questions. If you have any questions for Queon, please redeem 50 channel points and it will go in the queue and I can read them and it'll be right there and I have to go searching through the chat. And the way you get 50 channel points, you follow this channel, you get 300 channel points, you use them for whatever the fuck you want. That being said, Cloud Cover asks, best monster to TPK with as a DM.
ooh.
Hey!
What I can't think.
Thank you.
Hold on. I have to look this up real
Oh,
quick.
really?
Yeah. Oh. Hold on. Things are breaking. That's not good. All right, cool. I guess I won't be looking it up. Sure. Let's turn that off then. Okay. So, seeing that everything just wants to break right now. What the heck were those characters? What were they? You play Baldur's Gate, right?
Yes.
Um, the the little creatures that garroted you around the room in the Underdark. Hold on.
Oh God.
What is
Huh.
hold on.
Huh.
The measles.
Oh. Okay.
The measles because here's the thing. Baldur's Gate
Mm,
turned those thing they nerfed them so bad.
yeah.
Measles have a teleportation of like 300 feet. So you
Oh.
can
Oh, I know
dismantle
what you're
a part.
talking about. Oh, those little
Yes.
bastards.
Yes, they have a teleport of like 300 feet, and you can dismantle an entire
Wow.
team with those easy. You can get
Wow.
so many people out there, and then it's just like, okay, cool. You need five, at least five of them. You
Right.
take, you get each of them on somebody,
Mm-hmm.
disappear the entire place.
Mm-mm.
Gone, gone.
Gone.
Absolutely.
Gone. Done.
So it's like, because you're already restrained, you can't do anything, and they can still attack you. What? Please,
Oh, that's
please.
fair. That's fair.
Oh, and you have nobody around you.
Oh, it's a wrap.
Oh,
It's over.
yeah,
It's
it's
over.
over. It's a wrap.
I
It's
love that. I
done.
love that. Um,
Dunyan rings.
I love that. I love that for see. That would be. Oh, now I got to think about shit.
Hey,
I,
listen,
it's
and the
okay.
thing
We'll figure
is,
it out.
they're they are a challenge rating of 1.
But
They
they're
are a
they're
CR
so.
1.
But all of them put together like you little pieces of.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Cloud Cover also asks, I'm DMing my first over the table in next. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's try that again. I am DMing my first over the table in next week, the next weekend. Any advice?
Um, first time DM question. Okay.
Mm,
Um, first thing I would say is 100% know your players.
yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
if you haven't done a session 0,
Mm-hmm.
you might want to do that first.
Yes.
Um, but if you have done the session 0, pay attention to what your character, like what your players like,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
whatever they are enjoying and what they expect,
Mm-hmm.
and just like ask them the question of what they see happening at this campaign, what they see themselves
Mm-hmm.
doing, what they see themselves like getting out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as all of you guys are having fun, it's a wrap. You did
It's a
great.
wrap. I love
Yeah.
it. I love that. King V asks, what TTRPG are you hoping to play this year?
Ooh. I really want to play Triangle Agency. It seems
Ooh.
so fun. Um,
Ooh.
I want to play that so
Dang
bad.
it! Stop adding
Um,
stuff to my brain. God
I'm
darn it.
so sorry. There's also I was talking to Aetherius the other day, and there's a Power Rangers TTRPG. I would love
Mm.
to play that. Mm. There's also a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon campaign, like
Ooh,
a
okay.
setting. I want to play that so bad. You get to play like the little Pokemon. I want
I
to play
played a
that
Pokemon last night.
so bad. Oh my
It's so
god.
fun. It's so fun. I played a
It
Pokemon last night. I played a Vaporeon last night.
so good.
It's good.
I
It's
would
good.
love that.
It's good. It's a blast. I loved it. Cookie
Uh,
Mon Steve asks, being new to the game, I'm less wed to 2014, and an
okay.
awful lot of the changes seem to be what most tables were actually playing. And now that the monster manual is out, on first glance, it looks like it's not as unbalanced as it was when it first, I guess, first looking.
Hmm.
So I don't know what the question is, but I'm assuming that do you think with the monster manual now out, and it seems to have balanced the new PHB, that people will be more welcoming?
I I think people had a lot of gripes and like complaints with the monster manual to begin with.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
anything was going to be a plus.
Yes.
Um, so a lot of things they did with the monster manual now is just making more sense. So
Yes.
even if somebody like for player things prefers the 2014,
Yeah.
I can see somebody preferring the 2014 for like the player manual,
Mm-hmm.
but wanting to use the monster manual for the 2024 for monsters.
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
can see them like doing a marriage of the two.
Right. 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 I love that. I
That
love
would.
that. Facts. So I have a question. Outside of TTRPGs and other like streaming actual play stuff, what do you do for pastime as a pastime for fun?
I create things. Like I still create stuff. For the most part, like I do a lot of graphic designs,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I will be releasing a words mean things. I say this often. I've been talking about this all freaking week.
Yes, because
I'm
you're on
releasing
here
my
now.
yeah my online apparel store. I will be
Oh,
releasing
nice.
yeah. I will be releasing the plot armory, and we're looking at doing that next week.
Oh, that is so
For
cool.
and I am super excited because it's all not all TTRPG inspired stuff, but the main reason why I put so much effort into it is because the thought of like having plot armor is what every main character in
Yeah.
every story has.
Yeah.
And one of the things I want every person to feel is that they're the main character in their own life and
Right.
that every single one of them deserves their own plot armor. So
Oh,
that
I
is
love
something
that.
that I am very passionate about. So I do a lot of designings for that. Other than that, I am a dog dad. And
Aw,
he is sleeping right now. But yeah, I
you the
everything I
baby.
do is to make sure that he has food on his in his bowls. Cause
Aw.
yeah, that's my heart.
Oh, oh, that's a
Yeah.
lovely. Oh, that's adorable. I love that. See, my cat just jumped down. She just ran away. It's okay. She's like, there's
Yeah.
food somewhere around here, and I'm big.
Yeah,
Um, what is one of the biggest influences for you that most people have never heard of?
Influence. Ooh, are we talking about like?
It could be someone who's a minor celebrity, but people have probably never heard of them. It could be anything, but an influence on your life that person has had on your life that most people have never heard of. Most people kind of say, "Oh, my biggest influence is Robin Williams," but somebody that someone's never heard of or
Yeah,
minimally heard of.
this is, and I pray that she does not hear this. Um,
Why?
because it's gonna make me sound like a fanboy, and I don't like that. Um, because I think I have two answers.
Hmm.
For one, and I know that this is the obvious one, of course,
Hmm.
Abria.
Yes.
Abria, just because it's like she is the reason why I even started listening to Critical Role in the first place.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like her Exandria Unlimited is what got me into like, oh, I like this. The
Okay.
way she told stories, the way she did everything.
Hmm.
That is where I was like, this is phenomenal. So of course that one. But the
Hmm.
one where I'm like, I hope she does not hear this. And I made a post towards this lady on my Instagram, and she happened to see it, and she made a comment, and I was like, oh, this is
Hmm.
fine. There is a R&B artist by the name of Melanie Fiona.
Okay.
Melanie Fiona is by far my favorite artist of
Mm,
all time. I love Beyonce. I love Mariah Carey.
mm,
They are like Beyonce is my favorite performer. Mariah Carey is my favorite singer.
okay.
Melanie Fiona is my favorite artist.
Mm,
And it is because I fell in love with the way that she creates things and
okay.
the way that she creates music and the way that she layers things and the
Mm,
way that she can weave together such an amazing performance
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
just by the things that are in her brain.
I
And
love
ever
that.
since I was watching her, like I watched her recreate a song a
Mm-hmm.
cappella with like her fingers, a her clicking her tongue and like snapping her fingers,
Okay.
water bottle. And she recreated so many different songs, and I was just like, how can you do this? This
Right.
oh my god. She recreated the song by T-Pain Bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful. And her voice is like honey on like God. If I ever get the opportunity to meet that lady,
Oh, it's a
she
wrap
is
for you.
well, it's because I have so many great things to tell her and thank her for. And
I feel
it's
like
because
this
it's like she
name
doesn't
sounds
realize it.
so incredibly familiar.
She was very popular back in like 2010,
Okay.
2011. She was a pretty big singer, but nobody really like talks about her anymore, and I wish they did,
Mm,
because I love artistry and I love people who
yeah.
give that. And I don't
Mm.
think many people do that now.
Right, right, right. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. You have the best answers. Like, like you have
I'm sorry.
the best answers. Like usually people are like, oh, I don't know who's like my dad. I'm like, no, that's nice.
But it's because of like I do interviews too, so it's like I
Mhm.
know what people like are looking for when they're like, I'm trying to get a sound bite here, babe.
I need you to give me something to clip. like,
Like,
like we
yeah,
need a clip. Like I
it
tell people
might
this all the time. I love all my guests. My guests, for the most part, have been great. There are only two interviews that will never see the light of day. Um,
ooh,
One because the person was so contentious and so just vitriolic. I was just like, I can never freaking air this. And the other one is because I had to pull teeth to get answers. And that was
yeah.
the most painful interview I've ever done. Like literally I was like, so, what do you do to prep for your scenes? Um, I write it out in a storyboard and then I just give them to my cast and then I give them a little bit of direction and then I say action and we get through it.
I don't like that at all. I would never. I would not be able to survive like that. I'm so sorry.
That interview
Sorry
was
that
supposed to be
happened.
2 hours. That interview was supposed to be 2 hours. That interview was an hour and 10 minutes, and it was an hour and 10 minutes of torture for me because
Oh,
literally every answer was like, I make sure that a lot of times that my scripts are written out ahead of time, usually about a week or two, and then I distribute it to my actors, and we do corrections and dry run, and we usually get
that's
through the entire. I was just like, holy fucking shit, Jesus Christ, man! I am.
that's
Whoo, this hurts
uh,
so. Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
don't like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, see that? See that feeling? See that feeling that
Yeah,
you got?
no.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, and it's like I've also got that because it's like when it comes to my job, like
Mm-hmm,
my day job is still in the military, and it's like
mm-hmm.
I'm interviewing like captains and people
Yeah,
who are
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, oh, like I don't really want to do this. There's so many times where I'm like, sir, answer
Answer
the
the
fucking
question.
question.
Answer the question.
I like you it's like pulling teeth, and I'm just like,
Yes. Like,
I don't have to do it as much anymore because I'm in a really good spot. But there was
mm,
times where I was just like, if you don't answer this question, I will
I'm gonna
come
launch myself
on.
across this goddamn table. Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
Like, what we doing? Like, yeah. So those are the
Like,
two.
please.
Those are the two. One was like he was just very contentious and just very, very angry, and I'm
That's not
like,
good.
oh, okay. Like we
That's not
kept it
good.
moving, but it was like, it's not gonna happen ever again.
No,
So
won't be me.
yeah, it was like buried. It's buried like in the archive, and like
Yeah.
it's like no, we're not doing that. So we know that you're getting ready to launch your clothing line, which I'm super excited for you. That sounds so cool. I would love to see some of it because I love seeing stuff like that. But tell us what we can expect from you in the near future. Other than that, not
Whew.
only for Queon, the actual player, Queon the DM, but also Queon, the wonderful human being that agreed to be on this lovely, lovely channel with me.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, if you enjoyed me here, hi. My name's Keon. I go by Brother Keon across all of the internets. You can catch me tomorrow over on Sword and Keys channel playing Soren, a little Tilia little lizard guy who is trying to figure his shit out, but he's making terrible choices right now. But yeah, it's like I've got so many things. Give me 2 seconds. I will be doing with Roll D5 doing
Mm.
Tick Tick Bloom, which is a game created, and I am doing some play testing done by
Ooh,
the lovely Howdy Love Darling, aka Meadow, and I am
Meadow.
very excited about that. I've got so many things coming down the pipeline. I've got so many
Mm.
things that I can't talk about. There's got so many things that I would
Yeah.
love to talk about, but I can't. Um, I am. also helping to produce an audio drama. So that's a
Ooh.
thing that's happening. My clothing brand, World Replica, my DM debut, my baby is getting released every Friday of this month and the first two of March, because we are now doing a two-part because a lot happened in that last episode and we needed to break that up. um but yeah, there's so many great things. And if honestly, if any of y'all enjoyed me here, please follow me over on Blue Sky. That is
Yes.
BRUTHAQUEON, and that's where I live for the most part. If you liked my face, you can follow my Instagram, but it's up to you. I ain't, I ain't gonna twist your arm or nothing, but
Listen,
yeah.
y'all gotta follow. Just do the thing. It's not that hard. Like, come on. Like we're adorable. Like we have been vibing all night. We are sweet and adorable. You need to follow just because of that alone. You know. Also, Sunny's gonna be next. I just gotta get her ass on here for eventually. I don't have time to do that shit, but you
Yeah.
know, like, timing.
Yeah,
As
timing.
opposed to like we can tell by this. You know. So guys, if you have any more questions, now is the time because
Yeah.
while Queon is looking for someone else to rate out to, I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
know what we're gonna be doing in the next few days on this channel because tomorrow for our lovely interview, we have Justice Van, who is also on Castleton and does some amazing artwork. He's an actual player on multiple channels. You can catch him on different things. And then on Monday, the 10th, also at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Play Mat. Super excited about that. And my very special guest star on Valentine's Day, Friday the 14th at 8 p.m. will be Captain Robert. I cannot wait for that interview. I am super excited for that show. And for Black History Month, on the 19th, I will be on Girls Run These Worlds channel running a panel about TTRPG performers in the Black creators of TTRPG space. So look out for all those wonderful things that are happening. And if you have no more questions for this wonderful person who has been amazing on this channel, with we have been vibing all night, let me know, Keon, where we are rating out to.
I think we should go raid Help Action Needed.
Oh, I love Sean. Sean was on
Yeah.
it. I love Sean.
I want to go book
I
Sean
love
too.
Sean. Sunny did the applause.
Boop,
Yay!
boop, boop, boop. Thank you, Sonny. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sunny. So thank you for that. We're gonna go raid Help Action Needed. Let's make sure I have it spelled correctly, and I do. We're gonna raid Help Action Needed, aka Sean, who is an amazing content creator and just an amazing all around person. Met them at PAX as well, and they came and did a solid for me. Super cool person. Think of them as a friend. You guys are amazing. You can find Queon in all the places that they said. Find me in all the places that I said. I will see you guys tomorrow for another wonderful interview. And as always, it's better to be kind than to be nice. And if you can't be good, please be careful. Love you guys forever and always.